Welcome back to the book review of Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. We're covering Book 2, Chapter 3, The Shocking Alternative. For the concept that's mentioned in this chapter, including God, please reread Books 1 and 2 with corresponding book review videos, because C.S. Lewis mentioned the law of nature, moral law, and why human beings are different from other creatures, and explained atheism, pantheism, dualism, and simple religious ideas. So here we go. The imperfect world. Is this the way God had planned? C.S. Lewis is asking, we have good and evil in this world, fair, unfair, right or wrong. Was it God's intention to create the world this way? If it is, he's a strange God. He's supposed to be the perfect God. Why did he make it this way? If it is not, how can anything happen contrary to the will of the perfect God? That's a very legitimate question. And he explained it this way. You make things voluntary, then half the people, or maybe more than half the people, do not do it. That's not what you willed, but your will has made it possible. And this is the concept that he introduced here as free will. In terms of free will, I know some people ask this question, and how about a creature with a free will without a possibility of going wrong? So we can always make the right decision, we're always supposed to do the right thing, and fair deals everywhere. But that's not realistic because it's not a human being. So what C.S. Lewis is saying is this: since we have free choice, we can be good, also we can be bad as well. So he elaborated further, saying, although free will makes evil possible, that is also the only thing that makes possible any love, goodness, or joy worth having. Because if you're talking about a well-programmed machine that loves you, there's nothing to be excited about because that's the way it's supposed to work. But human beings, voluntarily loving you, caring you, and have a good relationship with you, and that's really worth having. He further elaborated that God knew what will happen when humans use their freedom. It could be good or it could be bad as well. So another question is this: if he knew that all along, why did he even allow it in the first place? He knew from the beginning people may make bad choices. Then why did he even allow them to have that free will? He explained it this way. When we argue against him about this free will or his plan, we argue against the very power that allows us to argue. The ability that we have as a human beings to think through these issues, questioning God's intention. Why did it happen? Why did you make it this way? The fact that we can do that is because he gave us free will. If we programmed us in one way, that we can all do the good things and then never ask any questions, we wouldn't even have this argument or question in our mind. So please note, these two are very important questions and answers. So another question is this: why did God make a creature of such rotten stuff that it went wrong? Wasn't he able to make it a little better? Answer is more mind-boggling here. The better stuff a creature is made of, the cleverer, stronger, and freer it is. What it means is, the better it will be if it goes right, but also the worse it will be if it goes wrong. Let's take a look at the cow or a dog. How good or bad can they be? They're simple animals. They can be well-behaving, they can be a little bit rebellious, but compared to human beings, we have this very complex ideas about everything. Human relations, the way we behave, the way we talk, everything is very complex. It's not as simple as how the animals behave. So if we make good decisions, it can be really good, but if we go to the other side, it can be very, very bad. So bottom line is, we are the best creature that God created. We want to be happy. Everybody in this world, they want to be happy, but they want to be happy independent from everything, including God. So naturally, we are self-centered. And that's why we cannot be happy. The way he explained is this: even though back then they didn't have electric cars need fuel or electricity. They need to be charged up. If it's electric car, if it's a regular car, they need to fill up the tank before they drive around the car. No matter how good it is, no matter how expensive the car is, you need the fuel. Just like that. God cannot give us happiness and peace apart from himself because it's not there. He's the source of happiness. So without God, we can never be happy. There's no such thing as being happy apart from God. A lot of people miss that. That's why they want to be independent by exercising their free will and free choices and trying to be happy without God. And no one really achieves that goal because it just doesn't happen. So what God has done for us is he gave us conscience. He gave us this idea of spiritual world and chose the nation Israel to be used as channel of blessing. And then Jesus came and claiming that he is God himself. That claim, if you take it on the face value, then it might be okay for pantheists because they think they are part of the universe, which is God. But what Jesus said was not the same as what they're claiming as God because Jewish culture, in their thinking process, God is the one who created the universe and it's not the universe itself. So it's different from what pantheist believes. We have to get into the matter of sin. If I'm a good person, I can forgive someone who committed sin against me. But Jesus claimed that he came to forgive the sin of the offender as well as mine. So who are you to say that? That's a very profound question. Before we make this conclusion, though, we have to think about this. A lot of times we hear it. People say Jesus was a great moral teacher, or he was a great teacher, a rabbi, for example, but he himself said he is humble and meek. No one in that category, a great moral teacher, will claim and saying that he or she is humble and meek. That's the last thing they want to say. So it doesn't work that way. So we have two choices now. Is he really God as he claims to be? Or is he a crazy person? So it's getting really interesting. C.S. Lewis will unpack these questions and other questions about Jesus in the upcoming chapters. So that's it for today. If you have questions and comments, please leave them under the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Book 2, Chapter 4, The Perfect Penitent.